Welcome to Bet on the Monday Night Football edition. Let's bring in Marco and VR. Oh, by the way, I'm Kelly Stewart. But if you're watching the show, you already probably knew that. But shout out to our producers for putting that in the lower thirds. The Greek gambler himself, Marco D'Angelo. I need you to have like the Italian nickname or something, Marco. I'm going to come up with one for you. What's good? Greek gambler, Gigi. I don't know. I'm going to find out. But we're going to work on that. If you guys got a good name, drop it in the YouTube comments because I think it'll be really fun. Marco needs a really fun nickname as well. Let's see. 0-2 for Kelly this week on Best Bets. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. That was really just one of those days where the best bets didn't matter. We still had a really good weekend, but I want to apologize to all of you guys that do watch on the show. And I wanted to address something as well. Marco said, hey guys, why doesn't Kelly give out more picks on the show? Well, my job is to host the show. But if you listen along, and I'll try to speak a little bit slower, I usually either agree with the guys or disagree with the guys and try to give a little more insight into what I'm on. And I also tweet them out on Friday afternoon. So you cannot miss them. They are all there. They're all free for your follow or fading enjoyment. Marco, I want to start with you first. How was your weekend?
Well, Kelly, you know what? I could start by saying how good of a weekend I've had. It's actually been a 2-week run for my clients. But, I'm just going to go the Twitter route. I lost my best bet on Saturday and Sunday. The only 2 games I lost on the show. But you know what? I suck because I lost those 2 games. Twitter guys, we love you. But if you're going to point shit out, get the whole picture out there. Don't just cherry pick. Don't take screenshots of somebody's record and, cut it off right after a 5% winner and then show 3 or 4 losses in a row and then cut it off when the next stream of winners come. Be a little more creative, guys, But, hey, that's what we're here for. Good 5-2 week here on the show. I'm happy moving along. NFL's been really good to me this year. And knock on wood, and we had a big college week this week as well. So I am happy, Kelly.
Good to hear, Marco. I'm glad the NFL was good to somebody this weekend. I had a big fat 0 for 3 yesterday, and even the Saints killed 3 of my teasers, and then the Lions killed another 3. That being said, we're on to a new week. VR, I'd love to hear how your weekend is, but first I'd like to start off with a VR quote, what he said to me before the show got started. And that was, Kelly, you're only as good or bad as your last pick. That's how this works. So starting off
absolutely
on a losing week here, starting off on Monday morning.
Listen, please, and I'm the perfect example, because if you just started following me this last 2 weeks, or I don't even know, you're going to be like, this dude's terrible. He sucks. He's awful. He went 0-3 on the show. And listen, if that's the conclusion you drew so quickly, more power to you. I hope you're able to go and turn profit elsewhere or with your way. For me, this is why I tell you you're only as good as your last pick. Here's what I learned, Kel. And you're going to have cold and you're going to have hot streaks. The only thing you could do is focus on winning long-term, time over time. And the ones that get it are going to get it. The ones that don't are never going to get it. And you're a perfect example of this. See, when you asked me how my weekend went, I didn't win any money. That much I can promise you. But I did like I always do. I checked this morning and I saw over the last 365 days, I'm still number 1 in profit at WagerTalk overall, still number 1 in profit in NFL overall, and haven't even made any moves yet this year. So it's not a lot of time yet, but this isn't about me. This is about what Kelly did on Saturday. That was the second straight parlay she nailed that she gave out at huge odds. Unfortunately for her, that's also the worst thing that could possibly happen. Because even though she built a ton of equity, she didn't do that with the next 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 followers she's going to gain. And even the ones she built that with, 2 months from now, they're not going to give her the credit for that. Unfortunately for Kelly, you can't take that away from her. She's now winning better. She's crossed over that threshold. She came to Las Vegas. She put in her decade plus, hanging around wise guys, networking with sharps, learning, finding out how to win, along the way losing money like the rest of us did, connecting with networks, realizing she's not a mathematical genius or a computer scientist, so she's not going to come out with algorithms and replace the betting line and all that. Instead, she's going to network with people that are smart in different areas. And with her intuition and 10 years plus of experience, looking at finals, reading the market, she's going to decide where the value still lies. And she's gotten so good at that, you can't take it away from her. Whether she wins next week, this season, next season, she's a long-term winner, whether you like it or not. You could bash her. You could say she's getting it from this guy or that guy, or she's looking in this back end, or she's throwing darts, or her dog picked it. It doesn't matter. You still can't take away from her. She's in the 1% that win long-term. And you could respect that, or you can't. That's on you to do. And if you're in this market to win, you better learn quickly that there's very few people that win long-term. And you need to listen to those that have a history of being right, because there's so few of them. So honestly, what you did is absolutely amazing. And that you did it for other people. To do it for yourself is amazing enough, but then to be able to share that information and have it still be valuable for others, that's a whole different art. That took me almost another 5 years to learn to do. So more power to you. Don't let any negativity change anything you do. Whether you win next week or lose next week, it's irrelevant. Your equity's built. When December 31st rolls around, you're in that 1% that won in 2021. Now move on to 2022 and try to do it again. And if you do it for those followers, the next 100,000, God bless you. I hope you do. If you don't, in the first whatever months, if they stick around long enough, you're going to do it because you're a winning bettor. So again, I lost. I think I didn't win for you on the show. That's for damn sure. But hopefully going forward, I do what I've done historically, and that's win.
VR, thank you. No, you hit the nail on the head, though. I do appreciate it. I do love.
And if I'm wrong, honestly, Kelly, if I'm wrong with any of that, please interrupt. I kind of saw your progression, and if I'm wrong, just say where. If I'm off, I'm off.
Full disclosure, VR is one of the first guys I met in this industry at least 9, if not 10 years ago. It's been a really fun run, and he's been an integral part of my career, as well as Marco. Marco, a lot of people don't realize it, but Marco and I are very similar type of bettors. We're looking for those situations. VR is got a kind of I would call you kind of like a trifecta. Not only do you get information from groups and be able to look in the back end, you also handicap that yourself. And then you also have this year of progression like I did, where you learn from all these people. And like you said, before you have this really expensive education, because I've told people a million times, I have paid. Yes, I have won, I have lost, but
Harvard
I have paid
ain't got
for this
shit
education.
On me. Yeah, your Harvard degree ain't got shit on me. Your student loans ain't got shit on my bookie, on the money I lost to bookmakers. So believe that. And the government ain't coming to bail me out with my student loans. I'm getting my legs broken. I wouldn't be around. Believe me, I had to pay those debts.
That is truly great. Well, again, thank you guys always for tuning in and hanging out with us. We want to make everybody that watches our show a better. And like VR says, whether you're following us, whether you're fading us, we appreciate you tuning in and jumping in those comment sections. And work on that nickname for Marco for me. We're going to dive into Monday Night Football. The Raiders currently 3.5-point underdogs at the Chargers. Total 51.5. Now, this one was 3.5, so props to you. If you got the Raiders at 3.5, you made a good bet. My question is here now, VR. I'm going to kick it to you first. Is the Raiders a good bet at 3, or are you late to the party?
Yeah, that's such a great question. And here's what I could tell you on this game with 100% certainty. There's a disagreement between winning bettors on where the value lies. And last Monday, immediately, Raiders plus 3.5 got bet on by guys that I respect, group that I work with that wins in NFL. And then Chargers -3 got bet later in the week as well from a completely different group that does well in the NFL. Now, again, could their power ratings be that far off? To me, it's confusing. So you're kind of on your own because both these groups are winners. So it could just be a difference of information. It could be one just grabbing that 3 and a hook, knowing that it's not going to be there. Again, I'm not trying to draw conclusions on why they did it, but I can tell you there is sharp bettors on both sides. Here's what I like. I haven't bet this game, haven't released this game, going to be more selective moving forward. But if I do bet this game, here's the sides that I am on. If I get to the window, we'll see between now and kickoff. I like the Raiders and I like the under. Here's why I like the Raiders. I think they're still undervalued because even myself was off. Meaning I thought this offense was good enough for them to win some games, but the defense just was going to fail them. And I mean, their secondary was coming into the season the worst in all the NFL. Their, front seven, nothing to brag about, bottom five in the NFL. But I don't think that's going on last year's results. So far this year, and small sample size, they're much improved. In fact, if you look at yards per play, offensive side of the ball, more impressive than the Chargers. But on the defensive side of the ball, they're more impressive than the Chargers. That's what sticks out to me, that I think this Raider defense is better than we're giving them credit for. And the one weakness the Chargers have had this season is not being able to convert when they get inside the red zone. They are one of the worst teams at doing that. They're under 50%. So if they're not able to close out these drives or settle for a field goal, that's not the kind of team I want to lay points with. The Chargers they're built like the kind of team I want to get points with. They're built to stop the pass instead of stopping the run. So a team like the Raiders will have some trouble early on. That's why I lean under. And also because they're underrated defense. So to me, it kind of fits that way where I think the Raiders stay in the game because Chargers will continue having trouble converting for whatever reason. And I do believe it's a winnable game for the Raiders, who are being overlooked, who are that 0-3 team that even like Football Insiders, who I really respect, I use a lot of their analytics. They're like only 15th DVOA. In fact, they're the lowest 3-0 team as far as where they have them DVOA ranked. But the Chargers are even lower than that. So again, I agree with them. On my power ratings, I have the Raiders on a neutral field. They'd actually be favored over the Chargers by about a point. So it's got to be Raiders for me, and under or pass. Just not sure if I'm getting at a window because I respect anyone that wins. And when I see someone that wins that has a Chargers -3 in their pocket, do I really want to battle a trader that I know wins, or do I want to look for another trade that I know a winner's not on the opposite side? So those are the battles I have in my head a lot of the time throughout the day.
Yeah, I can see that, right? With you have two different groups that you respect. So I was just betting that under 51.5. I just got done doing a show with Megan not 10 minutes ago, and I told her, look, I think I'm too late to the party here on the Raiders, but I like tonight's under. There's still some 51.5s out there. Marco,
Yep.
You've been to a few of these Raiders games. This Raiders defense does look improved. I will say that much, but I do think that the final scores for a couple of these Raider games have been a little elusive. Why? Because two of them have went to overtime. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with VR and I? Are you taking a different angle here? Monday Night Football, Raiders at Chargers.
Well, I got the reprieve from not getting kicked where last week, so I'm not going anywhere near the total because, I can't take an under here. And just to build on something that VR said, VR says this over and over again, and you hear a lot of people say this, that sharps don't bet teams, they bet numbers. And this game, especially being a Monday night game, is a prime example of that, where when the 3.5 was there, the sharps are taking the Raiders because there was more chance of the game going to 3 than the game ever going to 4. The Chargers just don't get bet as a favorite. So that's a market where people are trying to get in front of the number, get the best number they can get. And then when the number goes to 3, it shifts the way they're looking at it. They're not looking at the Chargers at -3. They're looking at this home team at 3 in the game. So I think it's a thing about numbers. And, there's always that great debate. And I know everybody, they want to be proud and show that closing line value. And I know long-term, I don't want to sound stupid. So I understand if you get the best of the number long-term, you're going to be a winner. But I still would rather have a winning ticket in my pocket on a bad number than a losing ticket and a good number. And I know, the new age of sports betting, everybody loves to have that, that trophy that they beat the closing number with their ticket. And that goes back to, you're the same guys that want to see every little league kid have a trophy for playing in the game. It doesn't work that way. In our sport, it's wins and losses of what you do with the actual tickets. And you beat the closing line, but at the end of the day, be proud you did that and you beat the number. So get that, closing line value trophy. But you know what also it means, Kelly? It means you were the first person in line to buy that losing ticket. when you beat the number, okay? So that works that way too. For this one, yeah, we missed the hook waiting around on this game, but I still think the Raiders can win the game outright. Last week, we all were on Miami against the Raiders. Why? Because it was a horrible spot for the Raiders. The Raiders were coming off the opening week, playing that Monday night game, the first game at Allegiant Stadium with fans. The place was off the hook. They get a come-from-behind miracle win, and then what do they got to do on a short week? They got to go cross-country and play the Steelers. Yeah, my Steelers suck this year, and I hope you tuned in August because I warned everybody about the Steelers going to suck this year, but it was still a big name, the Steelers. That was a big win for the Raiders to go on the road and win that game on a short week. And then they came home to play Miami. Yeah, they had that revenge from last year. Cost them going to the playoffs where Miami had the miracle finish against them. But they were sandwiched between opening week on the road at the Steelers and this game on deck. That was a huge sandwich spot for the Raiders. And you know what happened? They were down 14-0. But what I get out of that game from the Raiders, this isn't your same Raiders that we've seen the last few years, because most teams in a bad scheduling spot that fell down 14-0 would not have come back and found a way to win that game. And the Raiders did. And that shows me maybe this team is heading in the right direction and they're a lot better than we thought. And I agree with VR. The games I saw, yeah, they've given up some yardage and some points in the games, but overall, this defense is playing better than it did last year. And if you remember, they made a change at defensive coordinator in season at the end of the season last year. Now they're getting to implement that stuff and getting used to it. I think the Raiders are a live dog here. And you want to talk about home field? There is no home field. When you look tonight, you're going to see more black and silver in that stadium tonight than you see for the powder blue for the Chargers. It's just not going to happen. The Raiders are going to own that stadium tonight. I like the Raiders here. I've got them winning the game outright. I'm calling it Raiders. Going to go 30-24, and that gets it just over the total, just because I just don't want to sit there and sweat an under. But I can't totally disagree with the under, but I like the Raiders to win the game, and that's where my money is tonight.
And real quickly, Kelly, not to interrupt, but and people, I know we're going long. This will be worth it. I'll even throw out, I'll give you a bonus right here. But it's on the parent. Marco, you said the participation trophy, and I'll save this story for another time. We won't go long. But my daughter's a perfect example of that. I didn't let her take her trophy. She was the worst right fielder in the history of female softball. Like, she had no business taking that trophy.
Well, that's why she was in right field, VR.
And she realized that. No, she realized that, left the trophy, and that's why now she's getting her master's and hopefully trying to convince her to get a doctorate. But you got to be honest with your kid and let them know, if you're not good in baseball, don't take the trophy. Come on. Better, real quickly, a pick for you. Tomorrow's Contender Series. I've been hot one every single week. So let me share with you guys. Go down there, smash that like button so I can keep doing this. Just so you know how hard it is for us, I tried betting this. It took this many tickets to get like 3 dimes down. No one wants to take a bet out here. So it's Mike Mallet. I bet him. I started betting him at minus 150. I had to bet him up to minus 160. And the last bet I placed was at Westgate at minus 170. I think the value's at least up to minus 200. He should be a 3-1 favorite. He wins this fight 3 out of 4 times easily. I was so shocked at this number that I even went to the window where I bet with credit 90% of my action. But that one took me to the window with Mallet, and a smaller bet on Hernandez, who's on that card as well. Just throwing that out there. But smash that like button and let's see some comments so we can keep this going.
All right, Mallet and Hernandez from VR. Marco, even though he had the opportunity to just say 51 as the total, because we went under 51.5, but he made it 54. He likes the Raiders. VR and I are on the under. I lean towards the Raiders as well. But before we go, Marco, it is $9 Monday. Can you let everybody know what we have going on over at WagerTalk?
Yeah, we do this at WagerTalk and Sports Memo every Monday, guys. Every play that's on the site on Monday, not just the Monday games. If you put up a game early in the week because you want to, beat that number, well, you know what? You're selling it for $9 on Monday. Go to WagerTalk and Sports Memo. Pick any capper you want. You'll get whatever they got up for $9. And for me, I've got 2 plays up right now. Well, I guess one of them you might be able to figure out since I am selling tonight's Monday Night Football game. I wonder who I have. If you're not sure, go ahead and buy it for $9. I'll appreciate it. But we do have another play up for the weekend as well. So head over to WagerTalk right now.
It'll go to good use. The money will not go be to wasted. That's for sure. Marco, make sure.
My chicken wing fund.
$9 Monday, each and every WagerTalk Monday, and over at Sports Memo. Thank you to VR. Thank you to Marco. Good luck on the Contender Series. VR, Mallet, and Hernandez from him. We just need a little Raiders and under action tonight, and we're going to have ourselves a 3-0 Monday. We'll be back on Wednesday. Until then, let's bet on it.